It's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. I'm going to make a jailhouse with a cell. And I had done this and didn't like it, so I set it off to the side and decided to make a new one. I'm out of foam, so I'm going to do it all in cardboard. So what I have here is a game board piece that I've cut into a square and then rounded the corners of, and a piece of cardboard that's about 5 by almost 4 inches. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a plank floor for it. So to do that, I'm just going to cut some different lengths of this. Let me get sharper scissors because I know those ones won't cut shit. So I have these roughly the same, and I'm just going to cut these into, I don't want to lose that all over the place. And I did. Of course I did. Now I'm just going to cut some planks out of these. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to gather up the pieces of planks. All right, so then I'm going to cut some wider ones too. I probably won't need as many of these, so I'm going to cut these just in half real quick. All right, so to start my plank floor, I don't care if I go over the edges at all. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to get my glue, make a bead. I'm going to do my big one. And get 2 smaller ones, just like that. And that's how I'm going to do my plank floor. And like I said, I don't care if it goes over the sides, I can cut all that off. Then I'm going to do my next line. And I'm going to do this in 2 big ones. And I'm just using the pre-existing lines of cardboard, like the actual ribs, to kind of figure out where I want stuff to go. I'm gonna rip off a little piece here. If these are not perfect little pieces, that'll be all right. And I'm just gonna kind of take my time, and not too much time because the glue will dry. And I'm gonna shove these down and start making my plank floor look as pretty as I can. I know I'm going to need a lot more of these now, so I'm going to take the rest of these pieces I had set aside and I'm going to cut them into the fatter planks. The wider planks, I should say, not fatter. Okay. A lot of thumping going around up there. Sounds like some little dooms are being rascals. I wouldn't have it any other way. Now, when you're making modular buildings like this, I say modular because there's going to be some options and some things that move and shit like that. So when you're making stuff like this, keep in mind that some things will have to be perfect and some things you can kind of freestyle. And the floor, for example, we got some room to play with the floor. We can make some decisions and we can make some mistakes. But when we come to the more, shit, that's already glued and it's going to dry. We come to some of like the jail cell and stuff, we have to be a little more careful. Now we have a little piece here that I should have ripped off and I didn't. I'm just going to get that loose and rip that off. Okay, and this has come together nicely. I'm going to grab another glue stick and toss it in here. Happy Sunday, everybody. A little bit ago, I made part 2 of that engine video, that locomotive video. I'm not real sure how I feel about that finished product. But, I mean, it's just something to represent something on a tabletop. It doesn't have to be perfect, I guess. But I've designed some kind of standard around here. Not a very good one, but a standard of some sort for minimum quality. And I just felt like it was a little cartoony and just beyond that standard. But I really took a second and looked at it and thought about it some more and said, well, you know what? We're going to have to make it work. Those were a little bit short, weren't they? Yes, they were. Oh, well. I don't know why I didn't start the edge. Just ignore that. So you can make these exactly perfect if you wish. I chose not to. See how my lines aren't perfect. They're just kind of back and forth and around. That's going to make it look a little more interesting, I suppose. And some gaps will make it look all right as well, I guess. Come on, we're running out of time here before my glue dries. Let's find all the pieces I need and get it going. All right, all right. Sweet. And I think, like I said, those gaps will kind of add something to it, all said and done. Now, I can probably ignore that up there, but I'm just going to go ahead, since I can cut it off anyways, I'm just going to get a thin line of glue, and I'm going to be super careful. I'm going to mount that on there, mount these on there, and we'll cut off the excess. Okay. Now it should be pretty easy to just find the edge of your cardboard like that with a scissor blade and cut that flush. Just like that. Let's get that little piece of weird shit there and cut that off. All right, cool. There's a little bit of that smooch there that I missed because of hot glue. I'm just going to come by and make sure I get that cut flush. All right, so for walls, we could plank out the entire walls. That would take quite a while, and I don't think they're going to be super noticeable on the inside, but they are going to be noticeable on the outside. So I guess the first thing I want to do is I want to get my base, get this mounted to my base. Oops. And look, we got a little pop-up piece right there. We're going to get in there, get that glue down in there, and make sure they're all sturdy and good. All right. Oops. Now I'm going to deal with some glue pieces I don't like. Okay. Make sure all that's good. I'm going to glue this onto the base. Something like that. Okay. Now let's get these walls on the outside first. I'm going to get a pen. Oops. Make a little mark here. And I'm just going to whip that right off. Just like that. coming up. We have no windows in this at all, right? I'm not sure how I want to handle that. Let's plank this first then. So to save time, instead of cutting my planks real crazy like, I'm gonna get my scissors. And I'm not worried about the inside wall at all. I'm mostly worried about the outside wall. The inside walls are just gonna be painted cardboard. But the outside's gonna be something a little different. Or vice versa, maybe. I don't know. We'll see in a minute. All right, so to do our outside wall, this will be the inside wall. We'll just quickly plank these across. And then we'll come back and cut some windows in. So to do this, I'm just going to throw pieces on here quickly. And what I'm doing okay, I'm going to cut those pieces off so I can use them as I go forward to fill pardon me, to fill gaps and stuff. I must have Captain Trips. You heard it here first. Doom has Captain Trips. For those of you that ever watched The Stand or its remake, when COVID first started, tell me you didn't get some vibes. You were like, oh shit. I know I did. I was like, oh, this don't seem right. Something's off here. They got us. Can't remember the name of the soldier that fled the base with his wife and kid, and they died in the car in Texas. And then Stu Redman got exposed to him, and he never got it. And anyways, never mind. Just ignore me. For good reason, ignore me. What the hell am I doing? All right, so that was bad. There we go. Took too long. Cut those off. There we go. Okay. And we'll just continue along here, making more. Planked wall. If there's any kind of weird gaps or anything, that's okay. Be all right. Okay, and we'll snip off our excess, and let's look at window options. I had these little squarish pieces that I got from a board game, and I'm going to use these to my advantage and use these for where I'm going to cut my window holes out. So I'm going to make a pretty good bond here. I'm going to put it where I want it. I'm going to do 2 of those. Okay. Notice this one's out a little bit more. That's okay. The reason for that is because on this back wall here, I'm going to have the jail cells. I think my plan is to have them orientated on this side, and I want them to be where that window is kind of centered on it if I can. And if not, that'll be fine too. So let's get in here and dig in and cut our window out. And see if we can pop that out. I don't think I cut it in good enough. So what we'll do, I'm going to get a smaller knife I can work with easier. What we'll do is we'll get in here and work that out to the edges. Make sure that's good and square. Just like that. And that should be able to pop out. There we go. That's our window there. Let's do that again here. All right. Okay. We'll clean that up real quick. I'm going to put a piece of coffee stir across the top here, just to kind of make a border and sturdy this up a little bit. So all I'm doing is just getting this, and I'm going to flush that down the best I can, like that. Okay. Now, do we want to frame that window up? I'm not sure, but we could. It'd be pretty easy to do. All you need is some coffee stirrer pieces. We got those lying around. We could even put jail cells on those walls, or bars in those. Would have been easier if we'd have done it up and down, but we can still do it. So for our exterior wall, let's get some coffee stirrers and do some rough cutting. We're just going to make these kind of the same length and do the tops and bottoms like that. And let's get one more piece. Do it the same. Yep. All right, then I'm just going to glue those across the tops of these windows like this. Across the bottoms. Similarly. Okay. And you don't really need this much detail, honestly. You're just trying to make some quick buildings you can toss on the table. And for me, I have nowhere to put them. So I'm making them and I'll use them, but then they'll just be in the way. And just like the sci-fi train I gave away, I find myself in a situation where I got nowhere to put shit. I don't really need side frames. I think I'm going to leave those be. All right. And then we got a piece here I don't like. I'm just going to shove some glue in there and make a gross spot on the wall. And just so the walls aren't completely boring, I'm going to do a little bit more of that. And then, now, check this bad boy out. I'm going to get a couple little pieces. I'm going to do some bricks. Why? Why not? If I can do a little bit of work and make my inside wall a little more interesting, let's do it. That's just an idea. You don't even have to do that. You don't do any of it. It's all ideas. All right, so that back wall should, in theory, sit right there like that. Okay. Straight up and down, looking pretty good. Now for the side, we're just going to measure it to go to the edge of that wall. Flush like that. Just how we had that one. We're going to make a little mark. We're going to cut that off too. Just the same damn way. And let's hope. What did I do wrong? Oh. Let's hope that'll fit just there like I want it to. Now on this wall, this is going to be the back of the jail cell maybe, or maybe it's going to be this over here. This is going to be this over here. Let's cover this in some easy planks. Let's just cut some board here. What is this? Oh, blueberry Nutri-Grain bars. This is actually not some garbage I collected. This is something from my house. Now we're going to make the front of this. Oh shit, that was a big one. Let's set that to the side. We're going to make the front of this its own cap piece. Kind of like the sides are going to be half cap pieces. And the reason we're doing that is because the front's going to have a door on it. And it's going to be put on last. Okay, so I don't know if we're going to do a window on this for sure, but we might. I don't think we will. So what we're going to do is we're going to come across and start with our glue. I'm going to put it in the middle. We'll flush it down to the bottom. Something like that. Something like that. How do you guys handle having players that people in your group like that you don't like? What happens if you're DMing a group and just there's someone in there you just don't want in your damn house, or you don't want to be at their house, or what? For me, it's my house because I DM at my house, but you get someone in your group you just don't want there. Now, I have had to remove some people because of behavior. But what if their behavior is only questionable and not so-so? But what if you think that you don't like them and you have to run a game for them and you don't want to do it? How do you handle that? Put me a note in the comments. Now, because the kind of person I am, I'm going to give them every opportunity in the world to try to be fair about it. But I'm already kind of early in thinking I don't want them playing. Not because they're bad players or because they're new and they don't know, but because they just say things that are upsetting to me. And I say upsetting, I don't really mean upsetting. I guess I mean I disagree to the point where it annoys me that I got to hear them talk. Okay, so that's upsetting. I try not to be a Nancy that gets all offended by words. And I know they're not saying anything to intentionally offend me. I just think they're annoying and dumb. And I don't want to spend the next however long listening to them in my place where I pay to keep things going, where I pay to make it where I want it to be and how I want it to be. You know what I mean? It's my house. I pay the bills here. And I want it to be a comfortable place that I enjoy. Not that I don't want everybody else to enjoy it too, because I sure as hell do. But I just don't want to deal with people that are a nuisance. Okay. Let's do a couple small bricks on this wall. Make it a little bit interesting. Now, historically, it's hard to put D&D groups together. And there has been times where I've tried to put together additional groups outside of my core group, and it has not gone well. And I hear the same thing from many people. They can't get groups. They can't find a DM that can DM regularly. They can't find players that can show up. I hear that. I mean, I hear that shit nonstop. You just couldn't even believe how often I hear that shit. All right, we're just going to come in here. We're going to come up this side. Just like that. Then we're going to fit our wall piece on. Just like that. Oh, hell, what did I do wrong here? I did something wrong. I know that was, well, that was for that side. Maybe they're off. Maybe the measurements are off. So that's too long. So we're going to have to put that inside instead of cap it. Oh, well. We'll make it work. Okay. I'm feeling pretty confident at this point that I can cut this straightish. Inside wall, outside wall. There we go. There's something else I didn't do that I really wanted to do on that too. So let's do that real quick. I want to get a popsicle stick or a coffee stirrer mounted on the side up here. It's kind of a frame to sturdy it up and whatnot. Okay. I wish I'd have waited to put that one on. I'd have had a little piece there. That's all right. And then we're gonna cover this edge up with this plank. We're gonna do that again over here. Something like that. Now let's get to work on our wall. Now this wall is going to be the jail cell wall. So let's get on our thought bubbles here. I'd like to make it like the first one I made that I'd scrapped. The jail cell bars wall, like that portion, came off. It popped out. So that you could do like that elaborate, like we tied the horses to the bars and rode off kind of silly meta, or not meta, trope behavior. Maybe that is meta behavior, I'm not sure. I can't make a straight line to save my life today. Yeah, I just got my hand all on that. That felt great. That stuck to me. Ow. That'll learn me. No, it won't. I'll do it again next time. Get that pulled out of my skin there because it kind of burnt deep. Okay. And again, I don't know if I want to do a window on this one or not. But I have to. That's right, I have to. All right, so we're going to get one of those pieces. We're going to glue that in. Make that kind of flat and square. I'm not going to do a window on that part because I don't know how far that jail cell is going to come over. So I'm going to get my small knife. There we go. It's close. Okay, and we're just going to build two little frames for it like we did before. Snippers. And we're going to freestyle those. Just a top and bottom sill. Is that what they call that, a sill? Window sill? I don't know. Who cares? We're going to make it no matter what it's called. I'm just going to get in here with my minor burning hand spell. Deal with the spider webs real quick. Okay. Bars on the front and back window might be easier to do before I put it in for damn sure. This one fits perfect, so that was the problem. That one's too long. It's going to create a ton of problems for us in a minute here. Okay. Shit. Okay. Okay, we'll let that sit for a second. And we'll come over here. And let me get another couple sticks. Where's that bag of sticks at? Oh. All right, these are coffee stir sticks still. Same kind of deal. Oh, my back. I'm old. Getting old. This video is getting kind of long, and I think somebody needs me for something. I hear a noise, so let me get this last popsicle stick on here. We're going to take a minor break and come back and make this in a couple extra parts, more than we normally would. Okay. Let's rip that off. Let's rip this off. Let's get this little corner here that we need to deal with. Okay. And let's continue on. You can't see the shit I'm doing. I'm using my fat belly as a thingy bob. Let me get in here and cut that off. Bead of glue here. Snip this one off. Same thing. All right. So we got 3 sides of it done. What we did not do here is add any bricks on this wall. I'm going to do that right quick. All right, don't be a Harold Louder. Come back and watch the next one where we work on this. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and all the stuff that does the YouTube algorithm. You know, the comments and such. That all helps. Do all that stuff for me. Come to the website and buy some minis. If you can't, hey, no judgment, dude. We've all been there, I promise you. No one's been rich every second of their... Oh, that's not true. I know people that have, but they're assholes, most of them. Anyways, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.